Hey y'all, Aaron and Kara here, coming to you this time from St. Anne, Martinique, after a really nice sail up yesterday from St. Lucia. Hanging out here with our friends on SVC, y'all, and just wanted to take a couple minutes to introduce our next video.
Hey guys, our next video is of our time in the Bahamas a year ago, and this is the first time we really started sailing with a buddy boat, our friends on sailing vessel Next Place. So it's good to see them again. So I hope y'all enjoy. This video is mostly about our time in Green Turtle Cay. Back from the holidays in Texas, we arrived at Vela with a list of items to check off before we could pick a window and cross to the Bahamas. First was commissioning the water maker, then Erin changed the impeller, oil, and raw water strainer.
I'm slurping out the old oil so I can do an oil change. My new system with this oil change is working a lot better. I used to pump this thing like crazy because I thought that would build up more vacuum, but it turns out it just makes you exhausted and angry. So I just don't use the exhaust hose anymore. I'm just pumping directly into the jug and nice and slow. And it's coming out quite a bit faster than it was the last few times, so live and learn. I miss my vacuum pump though. We need to clean our main sea strainer because we haven't done it in a very long time. So I'm getting ready to do that. I'd say we waited a little too long to replace this. That gasket's pretty shot. Fortunately, we bought a couple before we did this job. The next few steps may not be YouTube friendly. Alright, we'll see what we can grow in this sucker. It's probably not as bad as it could be, but... Well, of course, I ended up having to take the whole thing apart because we had a leak at the gaskets where the, I don't know, view glass meets the housing. So it is the housing for our sea strainer, and the gaskets are in about as good a shape as the other one was. Just falling apart in my hand here.
I'm working on our provisioning, so I'm going through all of our holds and seeing what we have already since we haven't been keeping track very well, and then we'll make a provisioning run. Hopefully we'll know what we want. I can tell you, since I'm editing this a year later, that we did okay with our provisioning for the Bahamas, but we could always improve. So some of the things we did really well on are stocking our freezer full of meats and cheeses and frozen vegetables. A lot of that actually lasted us till Puerto Rico. We loaded up our bilge with beer and paper products, paper towels, toilet paper, because all of those are really expensive in the Bahamas. But one thing that we didn't quite realize is how much we would miss fresh fruits and veggies and dairy that are hard to find and are also expensive. So things I would have done differently are learn how to grow sprouts and have all of the materials and supplies to grow them, so you have at least something fresh in every meal. Also learning to make yogurt. I make yogurt every 2 weeks now, and substituting better. Canned peas has the same type of consistency as an avocado would, and is a great substitute when you haven't had an avocado in 3 months. So hopefully those tips will help if you ever provision for the Bahamas.
Howdy y'all. We are underway to the Bahamas finally after a little over a week in Florida getting everything ready. And we've had great weather. Got up really early this morning, 2 a.m., untied the lines and got moving just before 3 o'clock. Cleared our 3 bridges, and we are now about 30 miles from Memory Rock, which is where we're going to enter the Abacos. And we'll head around the north side of Little Abaco to Green Turtles, where we're going to make our first landfall if all goes according to plan. So we just finally shut the engine off. We got 10 knots kind of off the beam here, and we're making almost 7 knots with a little Gulfstream assist, and it's been a nice calm morning.
So we're going up to the front of the boat to check on depths. We are near the Bahama Cut water depth by the color of the water. Supposedly it's 300 feet right now. There's a fishing boat straight ahead. I'm gonna go see if Erin actually sees it. You can see the bottom. Erin just said it was 20 feet. We're crossing an area that's about 5 feet deep, or 4'8". I mean low tide, but it's pretty close to low. So I'm up at the bow and trying to look for rocks and coral heads. It took us around 30 hours to complete the 180 nautical mile passage. And when we crossed the Gulf Stream and into the Bahamas banks, the weather conditions could have allowed for a stand-up paddleboarder to cross at the same time. So calm, clear, smooth, and shallow that on our night passage with no moon, we could see the bottom from only the illumination of our red and green nav lights. The next morning, we landed in Black Sound, Green Turtle Cay, and took a ball at Donnie's Boat Rental and Marina. While we would normally anchor, a big storm system was headed our way, and being here provided us with 360 degrees of protection. It was a hassle-free check-in process, and the real reason, there was a Yamaha dealer that had our 2-stroke 15 horsepower outboard waiting for us. Green Turtle Cay is part of the Abaco Out Islands and is 3 miles long and a half-mile wide. So small, we thought, that there really wasn't a reason to take a map or phone with us when we went for a quick beach walk to go snorkel with our friends on sailing vessel Next Place. Unfortunately, one curious turn in the wrong direction turned our quick trip into a half-island circumnavigation excursion. We did get to see the only airport plane on the island, but unless you're this guy, the only way you're getting to Green Turtle Cay is by private boat or ferry.
Now that's the classy way to ride. How's that for a runway?
Green Turtle Cay was named after the once abundant green turtles that inhabited the area. But unfortunately, the green turtles have all but left the inner harbors, and the locals were very surprised to hear that we briefly captured a green turtle on camera while in White Sound. Perched on the southwest end of the Cay is New Plymouth. Originally settled by the Loyalists in 1776, it is a sleepy settlement with narrow streets and neat rows of pastel-painted New England-style houses. The village can be walked in about 15 minutes end to end, or 2 hours if you stop at all the attractions. There's a grocery store run by descendants of the Loyalists.
Oh, groceries and souvenirs right there.
A jail with steps that lead nowhere. Jail.
That's hilarious.
A slit in the thing, and those things I guess might open up and give them a little bit of air, but that'd be a sweat box.
Yeah.
And of course, stopping in to have a Goombay smash at Miss Emily's Blue Bee Bar.
Miss Emily's Blue Bee.
Why is it famous?
The original Goombay smash.
Miss Emily was the originator of the Bahamian national drink, the Goombay Smash. The recipe is a secret, but is believed to have coconut rum, spiced rum, apricot brandy, and pineapple juice. You'll find the Goombay Smash all over the Bahamas. A non-alcoholic version is even sold in cans at the grocery store. With only 450 people on the island, most folks know each other, and all are friendly to visitors. You may even be like us, sitting with a Goombay Smash at the Blue Bee, and be propositioned for a game of basketball across the street by one of the local island boys. While cars are allowed on the island, golf carts and bicycles are the usual mode of transportation. We rented a golf cart, went by the Blue Bee to get a gallon of the Goombay Smash, and we're off to explore the lesser-known beaches, bars, and lifestyles of Green Turtle Cay.
I'll get out and take a picture.
I know. Some pictures of over-the-shoulder pictures.
All right, y'all, golf cart wave.
What's a golf cart way?
Wow, that's
wow.
Beach that way. Okay, this is film rentals right there.
gosh, this is the Bahamas.
This
Yeah.
really did. Yeah, this is where we need to get a picture of all of us.
Going to get some cocoa nuts.
Alright, you're good. Yeah.
Oh, you can just twist them. Nice! Green Turtle Cay had a different pace of life, and time seemed to slow down. We spent our days exploring the natural beauty of Green Turtle's white sand beaches, snorkeling in turquoise water, and cruising around the island to catch lobster.
This is a rare Abacoian, I don't know, mussel. Rainbow mussel. No, because it's already gone. There you go.
That's what he means.
Little shell.
It's beautiful.
It's really, really pretty. I wonder if it's if it looks like it may just all be grass. Starfish is very starfishy. It's like, let's go, dude.
We took the time to enjoy Green Turtle's creatures and weird phenomenons, like bubbly sand. Water rising with the tide below the surface of the beach forces air up through the sand. During a mid to high tide, if conditions are right, you can see a steady stream of bubbles escape through the soft sand. Most areas are shallow in the Bahamas, so you don't have to be an expert freediver or be on scuba to enjoy the beautiful reefs. Beautiful day on Green Turtle Cay. Spiny lobsters are abundant in the Bahamas, and so with the sustainable fishing regulations in mind, we found reefs over 200 yards away from the island and took only the big lobsters with tails over 6 inches long. Pretty much everything inside a spiny lobster is edible, except for the lungs. Besides the tail, there's a chunk of meat at the base of the antennas, and you can make lobster stock from the body and legs. At the end of week 1, we just hadn't experienced all that Green Turtle had to offer, so we decided to stay another week. Join us next time to see our 12 Days of Christmas March, swimming pigs, and the Rake and Scrape Band.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. If so, we'd love to hear your comments. And if you want to do us a huge favor, hit subscribe.
Bye guys, thank you.
Bye y'all.